Legyen inkább 2005. 2005 fölött azért már vannak emberek észre.
Én 2085-ben voltam S3-ban ezzel.
De ilyen 1000 és 2500 között ott olyan emberek ragadnak meg, akik szentül meg vannak győződve, hogy ők mindent jól csinálnak, és mindig a másik a balfasz.
Ja, hát ez így szokott lenni.
Én alig vártam, hogy kiussak a izéből a 2800-ból. Onnantól, hogy megvolt a 3000-es fió, olyan csapatokba tudtam csatlakozni, hogy tehát a 24-es könnyebb volt azzal a partival 3000 jó fölött, mint a 15-ös gyökerekkel.
Remek.
Erre.
Látom, megindult a stream.
Ja, csak megosztottam a képet Quentinnek. Beállítottunk egy addont.
Nem, az izé küldte a Discord alá, hogy elindult a
De hát az
maga.
már mikor? Azt már 4 órájával ezelőtt küldte.
Hát most kaptam meg. Ja.
LOL, van egy aukciós házam. Repül velem az aukciós ház. Ja, de ahogy látom mindenkinek. Akkor mindig.
Ezek az aukciós házak már csak ilyen.
Five, four, three, two, one. Watch your step. Run. Interrupt. Watch your step. Run. Interrupt.
Jó, és megint megállt a játék.
Watch your step. Target you.
Tudod, jönnek a nézsával. Csak a mob csinálja ezt, nem?
Interrupt.
Már mondjuk biztos, hogy mások is játsszák annyira.
Watch your step. Run. Interrupt. Run. Interrupt.
Hát már megint, bazd meg. Hát a rohadt kurva anyját nem bassza már meg ez a kurva bugos szar geci. 1 FPS. Kemény. 4070 Ti-ja. Hogy rohadjál meg.
Interrupt. Run. Interrupt.
Hogy a faszomba kell ezt. Vertikál szintet kapcsolt ki, de kurva gyorsan. Ez nem segített
Interrupt.
rajta. Még rosszabb lett.
1 FPS még rosszabb.
Már ki se írta a végén. Az a baj, még a 100 FPS se írom el. És eddig mindig volt bőven FPS.
Watch your step. Breath incoming. Interrupt.
Nekem akkor csinálni ilyet néha, amikor útolok.
Ez ott a Full HD-ba játszó.
Watch your step.
Csinálja, mint nálad.
Breath incoming.
Egy-két másodperc, hogy elgondolkodik. Útolok, azt kész.
Nálam nem egy-két másodperc, az a baj. Én nálam megáll a kép.
Hát nálam is. Nem tudok csinálni semmit.
Watch your step.
Nálam megy a játék a háttérbe, csak a kép áll meg.
Hát ezt mondom. Ugyanezt csinálja nekem is.
Most is. Eléri a 120 FPS-t és beakad.
Tedd le, 80.
Levettem 65-te.
Watch your step. Interrupt. Breath incoming. Watch your step.
Majd kell néznem egy beállítást, hogyha ennek vége. Már mondták, hogy van olyan beállítás, hogy ne akadjon meg. Mert mindenki nem akad, akinek újabb procia van.
Watch your step.
Például Turi is mondta.
Én találtam 2021-ben.
Breath incoming.
Ma Magyarországon újabb processzornak nincs.
Hát, most se lett jobb 68 FPS-nél.
Itt amit írogattak az emberek, az mindegyik azt írta, hogy meg kell várni a kövépecset. 2021-re is ezt írták, 23-ra is. Meg most valami 10.05-ös patchet mondtak, hogy az szar.
Defensive. 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 Breath incoming. Run. Breath incoming. Run. Knocking back.
Megint megállt boss fight közben, nagyon jó.
Knocking back. Knocking back. Interrupt. Run. Interrupt. Watch your step. Run. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your feet. Interrupt. Interrupt. Watch your step. Run. Interrupt. Watch your step. Defensive. Attack totem. Defensive. Attack totem. Watch your step. Defensive. Attack totem.
Dob ki a trinketet. Na, dob ki. Na, dob ki. Hogy rohadjál meg. Jó, de ide meg haste kell úgyis. Megkeresek valami beállítást. Arra hogyan keressek rá? Quentin. Mit írek be angolul vagy?
For some reason, YouTube has emailed me and said that there is a content gap for people searching for how Dragonflight best graphics settings. Honestly, I didn't even think that was what settings you can see. Literally nothing else matters, and you just want to be able to see the bare. I have a PC though. Before this, I've had that. This is a new PC though. before this, I've had everything from like 3 generations graphics to just integrated to playing on a MacBook. It was real bad before. So the things you need: spell density, set that to essential. What this is that this is other people's spells and other people's extraneous stupidity that's all around your screen. Things like when demonology summons a bunch of pets or unholy summons a bunch of pets. You don't need to see any of this. Essential will block everything besides spells that also benefit you. Besides unholy
Okay.
summons a bunch of pets. Things like when demonology people's spells and other people's extraneous stupidity that's all around your screen. People's spells and other people's extraneous stupidity that's all around your screen. Projected textures, this has to be on. Projected textures is the telegraph that happens, the swirly you can call it, that happens when a mechanic or a projectile is about to spawn. This is required. Without projected textures, I don't even know why this is this setting. This should just be on 100% because you can't do most of the dungeons with projected textures off. You'll just die randomly. And same goes for outline mode. Outline mode can be things like when you're looking for a quest objective and the little item's glowing or the mob is glowing, but it can also be things like someone in your raids highlighted by a mechanic that makes them glow or turn into void or some sort of effect that's around their character can sometimes be outline mode. This won't be that much of an issue or probably won't even occur in dungeons and raids as much, but doing things like is particle density. Particle density is basically leave it on high no matter what my system is. And then besides that, so now you can see mechanics, you can only see your spells or spells that matter, and for the spells that you can see them very well, and outline mode for utility. Besides that, the only thing I would say is turn off target FPS and max foreground. Target FPS will lower things if you drop beneath that FPS, but it also means it might turn off projected textures. It might lower particle density. I would rather be at 20 FPS in raid and be able to see things than be at 40 FPS in raid and be able to not see anything at all. And then pretty much everything else you can turn off. Like there's no reason anything else here needs to be set to anything other than just low. Now I would say leave environmental detail a little bit up. This can render certain objects in the world, and again, this won't really matter in raids and dungeons as much, as far as I'm aware. On really big boss rooms, maybe, but this is more so you can just see stuff in the world, and it would look kind of odd if you just crank this down to 1. And also make sure ray trace shadows are off, even though I have a 4090. Ray trace shadows just leeches FPS, and it's like barely noticeable in my opinion that the shadows are RTX versus not. I mean, if it was RTX reflections, that'd be different. You might be able to see that. But RTX shadows, I feel like it just takes away frames and gives you very little in return. And then finally, I play on VSync. That's personal preference. It does add input delay, but people play WoW on NA servers from EU and they rate at the world first level, so clearly input delay does not fucking matter in this game. And then finally, I play on reflex plus boost. I notice a tangible difference when I play with this versus other people. Could be copium, could be placebo, it doesn't matter. And then camera FOV max it. As in the description or in the cards, there's this really short 60-second video I made showing you a command that you can put in to make it slightly wider FOV and slightly farther away from your character. That can be really helpful as well. But that's basically
Nagyon
everything else
szó.
matters. all of these random things that aren't spell
Yeah,
density.
Üdvözlöm Edittéke.
Particle density and outline
Jó, ciao, ciao.
Hello, hello.
Ciao.
look nice. These four things, but especially projected textures, you need 100% in any dungeon. Also, added word of wisdom: don't look at your frame rate in Veldraken. For some reason, no one, like I think 90 FPS in Veldraken might be a world record. But I also just wanted to show this is my screen with minimum graphic settings as I detail, with only those four settings on, as you can see right here. Everything is low, particle density up, triple disabled, outline mode on, and then essential and enabled here. Everything else is either low or off, and none of these settings really do anything as far as I can tell, and environmental detail is fine. And you can see the game still looks pretty good. The only thing is you can't see very far. And you can see now, if I were to crank settings all the way up to 10, it does look nicer. And you can see far, and I did just sack 10 FPS in Veldraken. However, I can't tell a difference. Obviously, you can see more trees, and you can see more random things that you don't really care about. Like, I could click this NPC from like 200 yards away. But again, you don't need to do any of this, especially in dungeons when the mobs are at best 40 yards. But yeah, hopefully this helps. Hopefully this fills the content gap that I didn't even think existed. Otherwise, this video will probably just get deleted when it
I have helped over 800,000 players optimize their WoW setup to be. You are probably playing on the default suboptimal zoom settings. You see, the default zoom setting handicaps you by forcing you to play with a more color for your team in raid. Zoom out. You can just copy, not just me. And our link to the Reddit was to this kind of rebuilding of my secret to achieving that buttery smooth high FPS gameplay while keeping every
Általuk mi nevére? 2560-szor 1000 faszomra. 1040-re.
Már végigpróbáltam minden, na azt már múltkor is próbáltam. Nem?
Már nem tudom.
Utána, amikor erről beszélgetünk, akkor mondtad, hogy kipróbáltad 2K-ba is.
G-Sync-et azt kikapcsolom a faszra.
Az nem lehet érni felelős ezért.
De Cségó Bannó az volt.
Ja. 10 éves játékról beszélsz.